Please keep in mind that these are approximate values, as it's pretty much impossible to have a certain number for each language. Serbian has around 9,000 Turkish loanwords. Next on the list is the Armenian language with around 4,000 words of Turkish origin.
Holy shit.
Bulgarian has around 3,500.
Golly.
Persian, Albanian, Greek, and Romanian have around 3,000.
Wow.
Russian around 2,500.
2,500 in Russian. What? Ooh. 10 facts about the Turkish language.
7,000 recorded languages spoken in the world today. However, just 23 of those are spoken by more than half of our planet's population. According to Berlitz, out of those 7,000 languages, Turkish is the 17th most spoken language with approximately 90 million speakers. As some of you might know, Turkey's population is 85 million. In addition, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Turkey, more than 6.5 million Turkish people live outside of Turkey. However,
90% are living in Berlin.
some resources claim that the population of the Turkish diaspora is close
shit. I had to make that joke. I just had to.
15 million.
No, but like seriously, Germany has like 3.5 million Turkish people living there. Unironically though.
Population of Turkey, the Turkish diaspora,
If I'm
and
not
people
wrong.
who are learning or speaking Turkish as a second language, it's plausible to say that the number of Turkish speakers is between 90 to 100 million.
Impressive. Impressive.
Turkish has many dialects and accents, all of which have their own unique features. However, did you know about the Turkish bird language? The Turkish bird language, known as Kuş dili in Turkish, is a language spoken in the village of Kuşköy in the eastern Black Sea Mountains. Interestingly, the name of this village, Kuşköy, literally translates to bird village in Turkish. The Turkish bird language is essentially Turkish, communicated through whistles and high-pitched sounds.
What?
Although it is not known exactly when this version of Turkish emerged, it is documented that this language has been spoken for centuries.
Aslında şu an telefon olduğu için çok fazla kullanılmıyor ama biz arkadaşlarımızla eğlence amaçlı bazen kullanıyoruz. Yanımızdaki kişinin duymaması gereken bir şey söylememiz gerek. O zaman ıslık dilini bilen biri ise konuşup anlaşabiliyoruz.
Hell nah. Hell nah, bruh. No. Never ever. I swear, if you're into foreign women, yo, you gotta know the language that they know. I swear, bro. I would never date a foreign chick that I can't understand the language that she fucking speaks because of this shit. This fucking shit, bro. Hell nah.
Play an important role in the usage of this language. This is a very mountainous area where settlements and houses are located quite far apart from each other. Especially in the old times, people had to walk long distances to deliver a message and communicate basic things. Since high-pitched sounds travel farther in the air than normal speech, the locals eventually transitioned into communicating their native language via whistles rather than shouting. So, this bird language allowed them to engage in complex conversations about daily life, farming, and animal herding between long distances.
What the hell? Bro, what the what?
For example, if there was something urgent such as a fire or a wild animal approaching the herd, these messages could be conveyed in seconds to a person located far away.
Nah. Nah, bruh. How the hell do you teach someone this shit? How do you teach? Nah, bro, that has to be cap. That has to be. Nah, I don't believe this shit, bro. I don't believe this shit.
Unfortunately, this language is facing the threat of extinction. The invention of cell phones has largely removed the need for communicating via whistles over long distances.
Dude, that is the coolest shit I have heard in my life. Hands down.
Fewer young people are learning this language. However, there's also a considerable number of people who are fighting to preserve this language and pass it on to younger generations.
How do you teach someone this?
I'm sure that many people, including myself, have attempted to learn at least one Romance language. I tried Spanish for some time and learning the genders was quite challenging. This was probably because my native language, Turkish, is gender neutral. For example, in English, the third person singular pronouns are he, she, it. In Spanish, ella. In Russian, on, ana, ano. But in Turkish, it's just o. So he, she, it is just one word in Turkish. The gender of the person we refer to as o is generally understood from the context. Let's say we want to say he's cute, she's cute, and it is cute in Turkish. For all these third person singular pronouns, we would use the same sentence, which is o sevimli. I remember that a few years ago there was a fuss on social media about how gender biased Google Translate is when translating from Turkish to any language with genders. I found this example from the old interface of the translator. What people claimed was that Google Translate simply assumes the gender based on the context and sentence, which some people found sexist. As you can see in this visual, being a cook and nurse is attributed to women, whereas being a doctor and engineer is attributed to men.
Bruh. Okay, but like, statistically speaking, those fields are dominated by said genders. So, predominantly dominated by said genders.
However, Google released an article about focusing on reducing gender bias in Google Translate, and a Turkish translation was used as an example to pinpoint the issue. Today, Google Translate provides gender-specific translations for gender-neutral languages. For example, if we write "O bir doktor" in Turkish, we see translations for both genders, which are "he's a doctor" and "she's a doctor."
Have you seen this?
Loan word. Every language has loan words.
Turkish has contributed loanwords to many languages, one of which is English. The most famous Turkish loanword in English is probably yogurt. Yes, the origin of the word yogurt is actually Turkish. Although yogurt was first used in English in the year of 1625, this word can be traced back all the way to the Uyghur Empire in the 9th century AD. Speaking of loanwords, let's take a look at the languages with the most Turkish loanwords. Please keep in mind that these are approximate values, as it's pretty much impossible to have a certain number for each language. Serbian has around 9,000 Turkish loanwords. Next on the list is the Armenian language with around 4,000 words of Turkish origin.
Holy shit.
Bulgarian has around 3,500.
Golly.
Persian, Albanian, Greek, and Romanian have around 3,000.
Wow.
Russian around 2,500.
2,500 in Russian. What? 2,500 Turkish words in what?
Arabic and Hungarian around 2,000. When it comes to the loanwords of foreign origins in the Turkish language, Arabic leads the list with close to 6,500 words. The second is French with around 5,000 words. Then Persian with around 1,300. And finally English with around 500.
My question is, how did Russian get so much Turkish words, bruh?
Turkish belongs to the Turkic languages family. Turkic languages are spoken in a large area by more than 200 million people. As you might guess, Turkish is by far the most widely spoken of all Turkic languages. We can say that almost 1 in every 2 Turkic speakers speaks Turkish. It is a big misconception among some people that Turkish is mutually intelligible with Arabic and Persian. As a Turk, when I hear Arabic,
Who the hell? Who would think that? Who would? I thought he was about to say it's a conception that Turkish isn't mutually intelligible with other Turkic languages, because I just always assumed that they would be somewhat mutually intelligible. But what?
or
Okay.
Persian spoken, other than recognizing a few words, I understand nothing of the context. Now let's take a look at some of the main differences between Turkish, Arabic, and Persian. Turkish belongs to the Turkic language family, Arabic to the Semitic language family, and Persian to the Indo-European language family. Turkish is written in the Latin script, Arabic is written in the Arabic script, and Persian is written in the Persian script, which is a modified version of the Arabic script with 4 additional letters. In addition, the
Okay.
region where Turkish originated is quite far away from Persian and Arabic. Arabic originated in the Arabian Peninsula.
Right.
Persian originated in the modern-day lands of Iran, and Turkish originated in the vast depths of Central Asia. So the Turkish that is spoken in Turkey has its roots all the way here in Central Asia. Speaking Turkish opens doors to many other languages. As I mentioned a few moments ago, Turkish belongs to the Turkic Languages family, which has around 35 languages. So speaking Turkish makes it easier to learn and understand other languages like Azerbaijani, Uzbek, Kyrgyz, Kazakh, Uyghur, Turkmen, Gaguz Turkish, Crimean Tatar, and such.
And I would never need to learn this language.
To mutual intelligibility, as a Turkish speaker, I can confirm that not all Turkic languages are very easy to understand. Azerbaijani, Gaguz Turkish, and Crimean Tatar are the easiest Turkic languages for me to understand. Although some languages like Kazakh, Kyrgyz, and Turkmen also have the same grammar and roots as Turkish, they are a bit hard for me to fully understand. But it would be possible for me to carry out a very basic conversation with a native speaker of one of those languages, where I would speak Turkish and the other side would speak their language, and we would be able to communicate basic phrases. When it comes to the other Turkic languages that are spoken by smaller groups in Russia, China, and such, they are very hard to understand, at least based on my personal experience.
Makes sense, to be
Although I
honest,
can
because they're more like isolated and far away and whatnot. Yeah.
Understand the theme of the conversation and pick out words to map out the context, I think I would need a translator to understand these remotely spoken Turkic languages.
Yeah, remotely, yeah.
So Turkish has different levels of mutual intelligibility with other Turkic languages, but it opens the doors of a language family with more than 200 million speakers.
200 million speakers, though, that's crazy.
On vacation, I want less of this.
Grand language reform, okay.
The Turkish language underwent significant changes in the last 100 years. The Ottoman Turkish that was spoken for centuries until 1928 was heavily influenced by Arabic and Persian. Also back then, the Ottoman Turkish was written in the Arabic script. For example, this is how Ottoman Turkish looked in old documents. The Ottoman Empire officially ceased to exist in 1922, and the Republic of Turkey was founded in 1923. In the following years, a series of social, cultural, religious, legal, and economic reforms were implemented by Turkey's founding father Mustafa Kemal Atatürk to create a secular and modern state. One of the most groundbreaking and vital of these reforms was the Turkish language reform. Through this reform, Atatürk stripped the Turkish language of foreign influences to a large extent and brought back its old Turkic roots. As the first step, Turkish transitioned from using the Arabic script to the Latin script. Later on, a massive number of Arabic and Persian words used in Turkish were replaced with Turkish equivalents. So Turkish stopped looking like this and suddenly started to look like this. As a result of this reform, Turkish took the form that is spoken and written today.
Which is kind of funny because he didn't bring back the old Turk alphabet. So it's kind of an oxymoron, really and truly. To say, oh, well, he got rid of foreign influences, but he's using a foreign alphabet.
Turkish is widely spoken outside of Turkey. In addition to the Turkish diaspora, there are many countries and regions where Turks have been living for a long time and they speak Turkish or dialects that are very close to Turkish. Let's start with our neighbor Greece. Turkish is spoken in northeastern Greece by the Turkish minority, whose number is said to be between 100,000 to 150,000. Bulgaria also has a large Turkish minority and Turkish speakers. According to the 2011 population census in Bulgaria, 9.1% of the country's population spoke Turkish, which makes up a little more than 600,000 people. In Romania,
Crazy how freaking Bulgaria, it probably would have been a lot more today, but freaking Bulgaria ethnically cleansed and got rid of so much Turkish people. Oh my gosh. Back in like the late Cold War era, there even a phrase in from that where it was like there are no Turks in Bulgaria. That's mad. I'm surprised there's still a good chunk of Turkish people despite that.
Yeah, more than 27,000 people speak Turkish in the southeasternmost part of the country. In North Macedonia, Turkish is recognized as one of the 5 regional languages. Although this data is a bit old, according to the 2002 population census, 3.9% of the population claimed to speak Turkish in North Macedonia, which is 71,757 people.
I think he means
In
Western
Kosovo as well,
Bulgaria,
Turkish
but
is
okay.
recognized as a regional language. Around 25,000 people in Kosovo speak Turkish.
I think he means
Recently, in
that province of Serbia as well.
2023, Iraqi Turkmen, which is a dialect of Turkish, has been recognized as one of the official languages of the Iraqi city of Kirkuk. And when it comes to the Turkish diaspora, which comprises of citizens of Turkey who have moved abroad in the past few decades, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, France, Austria, the UK, the US, Canada, and Australia are among the top countries with the highest number of Turks and Turkish-speaking people.
Yeah, 90% of them are in Germany.
Turkish is a historic language, the roots of which dates back to a very old period. Turkish, along with all of the Turkic languages, derive from Old Turkic, which is the oldest form of the Turkic languages. Presumably, Old Turkic originated in the vast Central Asian steppes, which comprise modern-day Mongolia and the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China. The earliest known written inscriptions in Old Turkic are the 8th century Orkhon inscriptions. These inscriptions consist of 2 monumental stones with writings in the Old Turkic language. Written in the Old Turkic script, which looks like this, these inscriptions are of vital importance in Turkish history, as they talk about things such as the legendary origins of the Turks, the golden age of the Turks, the subjugation and the liberation of the Turkic tribes, and such.
Oh wow.
The Orkhon inscriptions were discovered in 1889 in the Orkhon Valley in central Mongolia. The Old Turkic alphabet on these monumental stones was
Bro, people, I still don't understand how that logic works. People told me that Mongolian and Turkic languages are not the same, but they have similar origins. They originated from the same place. How the hell could they be distinct? I still cannot
deciphered
fathom
in
that.
1893 by the Danish linguist Wilhelm Thomsen.
Long words. Wow.
Since Turkish is an agglutinative language, by adding suffixes to the root word, you can create long sentences using just one single word. So Turkish can have long words that might seem very daunting for non-Turkish speakers or those learning Turkish. The longest word in Turkish is muvaffakiyetsizleştiricileştirip muvaffakiyetsizleştirip
What?
muvaffakiyetsizleştiricilik. Yeah, okay,
Oh,
I
hell
give up.
nah.
This hard to pronounce word means as though you
No. I will never learn this
were
language
one of those
just for
whom we
this.
may not be able to easily make into a maker of unsuccessful ones. Yeah, I know, it's simply crazy. Luckily, this is not a word that is commonly used at all in daily life, so if you're learning Turkish, you're safe.
No, I am not safe. Oh my goodness, like no. Bruh, whatever. If you're new to my channel, you made it this far into this video, make sure you like and subscribe, man. If you have any suggestions like this that you would love to see me react to, comment down below. Again, this is a part of Members Week. You know, if you're active viewer, you want to have your suggestions done much more faster. Guys, it's only 99 cents a month for you to become a channel member. All right. Like I said, I purposely made it cheap. And it is very, very worth it. Okay, like I said, none of my members are disappointed, man. Like and subscribe. Go check out my other Turkey reactions, bruh. Link is going to be in the comments to the video. Explain the perks that you get for being a member. Thank you for watching and goodbye.